Hey, Lydia.
Yeah.
Did you know that we have a podcast?
Oh, we do? We forgot about it for however long.
Yeah, it's been sitting here for a hot minute.
Where has it been sitting? Because I haven't been paying SoundCloud fees.
I don't know. It's been in the void. I don't know. Do you think we should do something about it?
I want to.
Yes, this is your part. This is your line where you introduce what we're about to do.
Yeah, so, this is the, posthumous intro to the Twilight season.
Did we die posthumously?
No. Oh, okay. Geez. What's the
I mean,
right
I
word?
feel dead on the inside, but if I'm still living...
I know you do.
It's fine.
This is the, many years later...
Revival.
Yeah, this is the revival episode. So...
We started this in 2019. And if you're just now...
in 2018.
Oh, wow. Fuck. 2018.
Yeah.
Jesus.
3 years
if you're
later.
just now joining us, we did a whole thing. Actually, we did a whole two things. And then it's been a minute because we've been dealing with a few things, such as, political trauma.
Oh, is it starting a business? That's what I did.
An ADHD diagnosis.
General depression,
And so much more. And you're going to hear all about it in our next season, which will be coming to you eventually. But in the meantime, I think we're going to work on reviving this. And if you're, like I said, just now joining us, this is the introduction to our Twilight season, the one that we started in 2018. We apologize for the shitty sound quality and all of that. Eventually, maybe if we get money, we can remaster it digitally, like the Disney classics from the vault or whatever. But, in the meantime, enjoy it, love it. We're working on some new stuff. And Lydia, what do you have in store for the people who are just now joining us or who want to restart their journey?
Yeah, so this is a YouTube exclusive audio clip. You will only be hearing this if you're listening to the episode on YouTube. Which I'm putting it before our original episode 0 of season 1, which was Twilight. Season 2 is Hunger Games. As of right now, I have paid the SoundCloud fees. So all of that fancy RSS feed shiz should be trickling down into podcatchers.
Is this 2013?
According to our podcast, it is, yes.
Okay, so, all right, okay. For me, it was like 2007, but okay. Maybe 2009.
Well, we discussed publication dates in these seasons. I can't remember when. So last year, if you listened to our last episode and are doing like a re-listen thing, we said we were going to do a bonus episode about Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes. That is not happening.
Tell us why.
Because it sent me into a months-long reading slump and depression, and we're not doing that.
I think
again.
That's the entire review that you need.
Yeah,
in case you want to know.
That's all you need to hear is that I read like 3/4 of it, barely managed to finish it with my life intact, and then didn't read anything for another 2 months. It was that bad.
This is extremely unsettling because I don't think I've ever seen you without a book or a Kindle in your hand in the 6 or 7 years that I've known you. You've always had at least a book going on. And for a while, you did not have a book and or Kindle in your hand. And I watched the life and the joy drain out of your eyes and your voice. So we're not doing that. Maybe I'll do my own standalone episode or something like that. But,
you're going to have to edit it yourself.
Yeah, if anyone wants to know what our thoughts were, sent Lydia into a spiraling depression, and I was...
Yeah. Panini might also have something to do with that, but...
Potentially.
Not as big as the impact of 500 pages...
Of nonsense.
Of absolute nonsense.
Can we just ask, what the hell happened, girl?
Suzanne,
why?
Are you okay?
Honey, call us if you need something.
Okay, this is... We're getting off the rails here.
Doesn't sound like us.
The plan here, as we usually do, as if you listen to the forthcoming season, you will know. So this is episode 0 of our first season that we're introducing right now.
A throwback.
We were 22 when we started this podcast. We're both 25 now.
I'm an ancient.
We've moved several times. We are both in the same location now. We're both in Colorado.
We both got cats.
We both got cats. Geez, a lot has happened in the last year that it has been since we recorded and published an episode.
I'm sure none of you guys can relate to that, of course.
Yeah, nothing has been going on for anybody else in this world ever during the last year.
Yeah.
I just realized we didn't introduce ourselves.
I mean, they'll find out eventually if they keep listening, which now this will be like their incentive. Who are these crazy people? Yes.
Yeah, who are these bitches who are reintroducing a podcast from 2018?
Good.
So the plan is these episodes are going up weekly, possibly twice weekly, at least to start out, on YouTube. They're currently all on Soundcloud and multiple podcatchers, including Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, etc., if you want to listen to the whole thing. But this is for the YouTube people, because we're going to do more stuff on YouTube with this upcoming third season, which stay tuned to find out what that is. We've already decided what book we're reading. And we're just gonna kind of ramp it up here, leading up to season 3 of Let's Unpack That. Also known as C-Lut.
C-Lut. Slut.
Well, our season 2 was S2-Lut.
Yes, I know.
So
I'm just going to call it Slut.
Every time. Every damn time.
Just a side note here. Can I just say, I really wish TikTok had been a thing when we were recording season 1, because, God, I see so many great TikToks just of Twilight shit. And how beautiful would it have been to include some of those fantabulous creators in our podcast? Because, like, damn, some of them are pretty good. Anyway, that's not really a plug for TikTok.
We will be watching Twilight while playing a drinking game. So
that'll be fun.
That is a given. That is not an empty Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes bonus episode, promise. That is going to happen.
Excellent. All right, well.
So, without further ado, enjoy this episode and episode 1, which will go up at the same time on our YouTube channel. And like I said, it's all up on SoundCloud right now. Just look us up. It's called Let's Unpack That. It'll be linked in the description. And yeah.
And we're working on it. Going through some life changes. So, I'm not going to set a hard timeline, but definitely soon. And hopefully we will see you season 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Do it for the vamps, guys.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Hello, podcast enthusiasts. Welcome to Let's Unpack That. My name is Nenah.
And I'm Lidia, and we are two 20-year-olds with bachelor's degrees who decided to reread Twilight one day.
Exactly, because we clearly have nothing else to do with our lives, seeing as we only have bachelor's degrees, and it is 2018.
Yikes.
All right. So the idea to come around and kind of do a reflection podcast came when I told Lidia, who has been my best friend for 4 years, that I really wanted to reread Twilight. And after she got done making fun of me, I told her exactly why. And that was because I first read Twilight when I was 12. And at the time, Twilight, I was, in the 6th grade, hadn't had any experience with romance of any kind. And at the time, Twilight was the pinnacle love story that everybody was into. Edward or Jacob were the ideal boyfriends that everybody wanted. And I just remember really loving the story. And so I decided to reread it now, 10 years later, knowing what I know and realizing the world is not as picture perfect as the world of Forks, Washington seems in these books.
The world of Forks, Washington is far from perfect either.
Well, yes, but comparatively speaking, it's pretty clean. But now I just wanted to see what I thought of it now. Here I am, at 22, rereading Twilight. Because again, we just have bachelor's degrees and we have nothing better to do with our time.
I have so much better stuff to do with my time, Nenah. But I decided to do this with you because I hated Twilight. Just utterly hated it so much. Of course, that was my middle school phase when I hated everything that was popular and when I only listened to classical music.
I'd like to point out that this was your idea.
This was my idea, but we had been searching for a podcast topic for a while, and this seemed fun. And having a bachelor's degree in creative writing, I feel like I'm more qualified than a 12-year-old to critique the Twilight verse, and oh boy, there's a lot.
Well, to add to that, I have a bachelor's degree in political science, and that has given me background knowledge to basically just judge everything, but to do it while sounding smart. So that has also prepared me, I think, to reread Twilight and see exactly where society was and how much it's changed since then, which I think was really the main idea behind me wanting to reread these books, was because I wanted to see, okay, when we were 12, these were the norms, and here I am at 22, wondering how things have changed and wanting to see that difference from what I can remember.
Yeah, it's a combination of nostalgia and wanting to see how fucked up we were.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
boy. Well, and also just kind of seeing how attitudes about love and romance have changed. How we as individuals see, the potential for relationships and partners, and how, let's be honest, Twilight is extremely heterosexual.
I have one more thing I'd like to say about this. So in middle school, I was gifted the first 2 books of the Twilight series. I did not want them. I had said probably 5 minutes before how much I hated the idea of Twilight. I hadn't even read it yet, but it was so popular and so prevalent in the middle school culture that I knew that I hated it. And about 5 minutes after I said that, we were at my birthday party, and one of my best friends gave me the first 2 books.
Ha.
And I just want to say, Mary Mast, I'm so sorry. I still feel bad about that to this day. And I did eventually read the first book and half of the second book. I couldn't get through more than that. But this is for you.
Oh.
And for you, Nenah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Lydia. See, I love Twilight. I was definitely among the 12 to 13-year-old fan base that just went absolutely crazy for it. But I was Team Jacob, so I was in the minority camp.
I have a question for you,
Yeah.
Nenah. Was your mom a Twihard mom?
She would go see the movies with me. That was what we did. That was my... when I turned 16, she got me out of school early, and we went and saw the last Breaking Dawn movie,
Oh my God.
part 2, because we had gone to see all of the other ones together at that point. And I don't think either of us even liked it that much by then. God, I was 16. I was sophomore in high school. But it was just one of those things that Mom and I had started that we needed to finish.
Maybe we could have her as a guest.
Oh, yeah. Maybe so. We'll see.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Anyway, that's our intro to the podcast. Let's unpack that. And the first episode is up now. We'll have also social medias up later in the show notes. And until next time.
Until next time, which is hopefully right now, because we're about to go and record episode 1. Stay tuned.